Hi, this is video 3 of the Math SAT Prep series, and this is parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, so two lines that are parallel, if and only if their slopes m1 and m2 are equal with different y-intercepts. So let's look at that first diagram there. That's what parallel lines look like. And they have the exact same slope, but different y-intercept. So they're not the same exact equation. And two perpendicular lines, are if the product of their slopes is -1, meaning that their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. So parallel slopes mean they have the same slope value. So m1 is equal to m2 for parallel. And for perpendicular, m1 has to equal to -1 over m. m1 has to equal to -1 over m1, I guess, to be perpendicular. So the perpendicular slope to m1 is -1 over m1, which is just the negative reciprocal. So you can also think of it as m1 times m2 is equal to -1. And that's how you tell if they are perpendicular. Okay, let's do question 1. Which of the following is an equation for the line passing through the point -4 and 1? The parallel that is parallel to 4x minus 2x equals to 3. Okay, so for these types of equations, for these types of questions, what you want to do is first find the slope. So let's find the slope of the equation that's given to us. So let's just write that out. 4x minus 2y equals to 3. And then we can move that 4x to the other side. And that's what we'll be left with. And then we can move that y to the other side as well. So -2 divided by everything, that should be 2x minus 3 over 2. Good. Okay, so it says that this one of these options has a line that is parallel to this line right here. And we can first cross out C and D because they do not have the same slope. So that means they're automatically wrong. Okay, now to differentiate between A and B, we plug in this point -4 and 1 to either one of those. So if we plug in -4 to the x value of, let's say, the equation of A, y is equal to 2x minus 9. If we plug in -4, we should get 1. So we should get 1 if this is the right answer. And as you can see, 2 times -4 is not -4, -8 minus 9. This is clearly not equal to 1. Clearly not equal to 1. So that means that option B is the only right answer. But to check that, we can also just put a plus sign there, which is the only difference. And you can see that this does equal to 1. Because we get -8 plus 9. And that's equal to 1. That's why the answer should be B. Okay. Good. Let's move on to question 2. Which of the following is an equation for a line passing through the point -4 and 1 that is perpendicular to that line that we just found. So we can just do the same thing. Since it's the same equation, we can just write it out because we did the work before. But it's the same process. And now we want to find a slope that is the negative reciprocal. So first, let's just take the negative. So first, -2. And then the reciprocal is -1/2. So negative and then negative reciprocal. So this is a slope we want to find. Now let's check our options. We have A and B with the slope of -1/2. Now we have to differentiate between those two options. And how we can do that is plugging in either the y or x value as one of the x or y values and see if they match up with each other. So let's try equation A, and let's plug in -4. So -4 would be like this, -1/2, -4 minus 1. So negative times negative would be a positive, and this would just be +2 minus 1. And this should get you 1, which it does. So that is the correct answer. That means for question 2, the answer is A. So the answer is A for question 2. Good. Okay, now question 3. Which of the following is a linear equation for the line that is parallel to 3x plus 4y equals 12 to the point -2 and -3? Okay, so we need to find, first off, the slope that is parallel to that equation. So let's do that first. And we can first write that in y equals mx plus b form. We'll get something like this, 12 minus 3x. Divide the 4, we get -3/4x plus 3. Okay, great. So now we know that the slope has to be -3/4. And let's look at the options and see which one is -3/4. So we have -3/4 for option A and option D. So those could be correct answers or options. Now we need to differentiate them. So it passes through the point -2 and -3. So there are only two equations that meet that slope one. So now we wanna let's check A. We wanna plug in either y or x. This time, let's actually plug in. Let's just plug in x here for -2, and then we should get -3. So it should be -3 is equal to -3/4, and x is -2 minus 2, which gets us -4 in those brackets. -4 times 3, -4 times -3 is is +12, so it's 12/4, and get 3 equals -3. So this is not right. Wait. Yeah, this can't be right, because this is a +3 and this is a -3. So now, just to double check, let's plug the same thing in the other equation for D. So let's do that. And what we get should match up. So let's plug in x as -2, +2. Yeah, but the answer should be D. To the point, we have 2, 3. Nah. No, I'm gonna fuck with you. Oh yeah, this is right. So, okay, yeah. So, -2 plus 2, you get 0 in those brackets. You get y plus 3 here. It's ugly 3. And then you get 0 here, y plus 3, you get minus 3 over here. And y is equal to -3 when x is -2. So that's why the answer to number 3 is D. Okay, good.